accept that he was gay. So if I leave as well and I damn to hell, what will my mother say? I'll be the bad influence to my family and friends and be asked to stay away. I have sought your face, I have read your words, I have tried, but I can't find you. Tried to make sense of your confusing love. I don't know what else that I can do. In the dark I feel you might not be real, but hell is waiting if I'm wrong. So I pray that your love will be enough for me. For I don't know where I'll go if not in your house. God, I don't want to miss out on you, so please don't let me down to truth. Show me you're here. I have sought your face, I have read your words, I have tried, but I can't find you. Trying to make sense of your confusing love. I don't know what else that I can do. In the dark I feel you might not be real, and hell is waiting if I'm wrong. It's what I'm so scared of. But fear's not enough for me.
So being transgender is perfectly fucking natural. Turns out science has already identified over 300 species on this planet that exist in nature that can transition genders. And I understand that there are people who might disagree with that, but to call it unnatural is scientifically inaccurate, is all I'm fucking saying. They have known since 1972 that human beings are one of those 300 species. You can Google this. Science has known since the 1970s that every single human embryo ever begins as a female embryo, which technically means that every dude in this fucking room is trans. Enjoy those fucking apples, dude. Fucking, you're trans, you're trans, you're trans, you're definitely trans. What are you laughing at, sissy boy? You're trans as fuck, dude. You're trans, you're trans, you're so trans. If you didn't have that beard on your face, I'd fuck it.
Took a hit for the team, took a bullet for the dream, that we would one day all be free, free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity, I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I'm still live through technology. After the sun, oh, comes the rain. Yeah. And after the storm, the sun will start shining. What tears of pain, and tears of pain, and tears of pain. Just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, forwards in the sea.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, fam? It's your dude BubzDaGawd here with yet another live for you all on this Put the volume down some, excuse me. On this Wednesday evening. So glad to be in the service one more time. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, 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 what's up? My camera is going to be laggy, but it is what it is. Hope everybody doing well. I wanted to finish this video because it's been brought to my attention that Amir has made another video in reference to the queer community on why the queer community is so disliked. Okay. And I haven't watched it yet. So again, shout out to the person who said that. I'm going to watch it and we definitely will be back because again, starting off in 2026, it's going to be more in-house stuff. We already understand what the outhouse, those outside the community, those outside the understanding. Okay, outside the queer experience. We understand what they believe and what they think about us and what they continue to show us. Okay? But we need to start having more conversations of accountability within the community. And I appreciate Amir, kind of believing that he's doing his part to do that. But as you will see through this finale live of this particular video, baby, Amir, there is a part of you that I do believe is objective, that I do believe has some sort of humanity attached to it, that I do believe really wants to find the gray area. There is a part inside of you that wants to achieve that, and no shade, I want to connect personally with people who are trying to find the gray area. Because at this point, that is what we need, is gray area conversations. If it's not about the gray bitch, it's either going to be disputed and refuted bitch. We need things that actually make sense. And no shade, there is a lot of fear and projection that is happening. And what I'm telling you, Amir, unconsciously, what you're doing unconsciously, is that you're stoking the flames of that fear for the side that you represent. Because bitch, excuse me, it's gonna be a colorful language, girl. When I say bitch, I ain't calling no bitch as far as that. It's the little sissy pop thing, girl. Yes, girl. That's what I mean. So when I say the word bitch, girl, it's in the realm of gay. Okay, in the realm of gay. Okay, so that's what I mean, because I will be saying that word and a lot of other words during this live. I'm gonna try to curve them to the best of my ability. But my ninja, you are playing into the fear. And you're, again, a voice piece for the individuals who are afraid to face the fear, even as we're going to hear at the end of this live, which is the end of his video, where he talks about, knowing who you are, not compromising your morals and values for other people, to stand in solidarity with you because that's all you have, correct? That you have to learn how to walk through the storm, girl. I told the storm to what? Go through it. But Amir, you can't do that when it comes down to trans people or the TQI plus or black people. And the fact that your ass is cussing more, I know that you are being irritated by this. And the gag is your ego is being irritated. Shout out to CTV, because I just did a live with him a few hours ago where the conversation surrounded friendship and what that actually looks like. That one premier quality that you should have in a friendship is that person has to be honest with you even when it hurts. Amir has too many yes men around him. Has too many yes trans friends around him. A lot of yes gay men and lesbians around him. But he don't have any around him that be challenging him on his bullish. Because as we saw a few lives ago, PragerU was what gave Amir true purpose. PragerU was the one that was looking around and said, I want that one. Girl, I want that one. Gave Amir purpose. Gave him a platform. Gave him momentous exposure, opportunities to be a public speaker, and to be a full-time content creator. And no shade. When it come down to wanting to be a content creator, you ate that. You were able to manifest that because all of us as content creators, we obviously want to be able to make a living or have a stream of income, you know, manifest because of our gifts and talents, because it's our gifts and talents. I'm an individual that edits down. I'm an individual that contents down. I'm now starting to learn how to work with other content creators. Shout out to Faith is the Substance. Shout out to the Black Anarchist Podcast. Shout out to Conscious TV. Shout out to Queen Stevie. Shout out to T for T. Shout out to Deshaun. It is about community. Let me shut up, girl, so we can get into the live. Y'all know how I give it up. Because there's a lot here. There is a lot here. And I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing anymore for trying to like dumb myself down for people. Y'all got to also make the opportunity and the choice to ascend and rise the fuck up. Everybody can't come to your level all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to put in the work to elevate yourself. That's why self-love is important. The root of all this stuff that we're talking about on both sides is that there is a lack of self-love and inner awareness. And then on top of that, a lot of jealous assholes that feel some type of way about people who had no choice but to choose to live, girl. And now they're living their best life, even though you've been conditioned to see that best life as demonic or evil or Luciferian or satanic or confusing or weird. And I don't know, maybe it's because I actually hung around the weird people, you know, kind of like how some of y'all Lord and Savior hung around the weird people, the it and the theys and the thems, because I actually followed in their footsteps by hanging around the people to see for myself. I know what the truth is, which is why I do what I do. And again, Amir, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens when accountability actually comes through. Because no shade, the energy that you're reverberating in, especially like your public persona, is kind of on the same frequency as the DL whispered, as T.S. Madison calls them now, right? You're letting these people who are ignorant as bigots put a battery in your back for you to then do the content that you do, especially in the administration that we're in today. And from what I've learned, there weren't a lot of people who have done content on you like the way that I am doing it. But I've been a first in a lot of different things. So this is nothing new for me. But I guess as far as my awareness, you may hear of it. And like I said, again, the humanity part, that's why I keep doing my commentary, especially like on your commentary when it comes down to queerness and blackness. It's because there's a part of your humanity that I still can see that so many other people have already written your ass off of. Or written your ass, girl, fuck that. I don't want to hear that. Fuck it. I'm still the one willing to have a conversation in reference to your humanity. Because again, as much as you are so against the TQI plus, you still want to frequent spaces where the queer community is, because there's a inner over an understanding of what the discrimination feels like. And the funny part about it is that you know that. And you believe that as long as your supporters don't see that, you know, you're good. But then again, you're the one that has to go into queer clubs, a place where you're supposed to feel safe. And you're the one incognito, like you Bow Wow or Michael Jackson or something, as if though people just gonna spot you and just start assaulting you. Have you been assaulted by a trans woman yet, despite all of your trans rhetoric? Have you been assaulted by a non-binary person, despite all of your non-binary rhetoric? And then on top of that, if we're gonna play that game, we saw your arms, nigga. You may have a cute little lisp, girl. It do be cute. I ain't gonna hold you. Do be cute. I'd be like, oh, he just sounds so cute with a little list. Or can you say she sells seashells by the seashore, nigga? Do you want cranberry sauce or is it cranberry sauce? It'd be cute, but it's like, girl, ain't nobody harming you. Again, you went inside the wildest, craziest pride event there is in America for your supporters. Had to talk to white people outside of this shit to get some sort of balance. And you enjoyed yourself. You had fun. It was safe. Wasn't nobody trying to fuck you with a dog mask on. Wasn't nobody trying to do no puck play with you. Wasn't nobody trying to piss on you. Wasn't nobody trying to grab them cheeks out in the public and just all that type of shit. None of the stereotypes that you speak to your audience, it did not manifest at all. And then again, your bodyguard, shout out to them, baby. That's like getting a cash app while you're doing a live, girl. I'm working, but I'm also getting paid. But for him, he did that shit free. He had a free paid day off, girl. Got in the pride for free, girl, and got paid to sit up there and do nothing but hold the camera. He ain't had to do his job. He ain't had to body slam a they, them. Wasn't no trans person coming up to you talking about, hey, Amir, nigga, I heard you, nigga. And they got into formation. No, wasn't none of that. Wasn't none of that at all. You enjoyed yourself. But again, I really do believe that you're starting to become aware of how deep you're in reference to how far you've gone with being a conservative content creator. Because if you were really middle, right-leaning, again, middle overall, you will be having more conversations on your platform with your supporters about the queer experience. You will be giving them queer history lessons. And then on top of that, which you would have done, hopefully you can do it this year since Pride Month is slowly approaching, maybe you can show us finally, especially since we're in this Trump administration and you believe that there's a space for the homosexuals and the lesbians and the bis and the damn trans and the queers and the intersex and the they thems and the they thems and all of them, girl. You are supposed to show us what a real, genuine, family-friendly pride event is. I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute, y'all. I'm sorry I'm looking at the camera and I'm off this good sativa. Shout out Cali Blaze. You're going to have to show us, Moody Mooks. You have to show us. You're going to have to show us what you're talking about. Again, lead by example. So this year, hopefully, before Halloween comes, because no shade, I love Halloween too. Halloween is my favorite motherfucking holiday. And maybe I might dress up this year. Interesting. But I hope that this summer, Pride season, I hope that you and all the other queer content creators who aren't with that TQI shit and that racist Black Lives Matter shit, I hope that one of y'all uploads or your uploads in particular is you saying, Faggots, this is what it looks like to do a family-friendly pride right here. This is what it is right here. See, once y'all start doing that and showing us stuff, then we can be like, okay, now you objective. Then we can be like, okay, just like they be saying, people giving their life to Christ. What must I do to be saved? What must I do? Show us what it looks like so we can walk up to you and say, Sensei, Senpai, teach us thy ways. That's how you win, people. But Amir, I know that you know that the stuff that you're saying, you don't even really believe it. Not for real. You have to believe it in reference to your platform. Because once you start really being objective, PragerU not going to like that. Summit Ministries is not going to like that. Your supporters are not going to like that. That's why I'm glad that I built my supporters off of truth. That's why, again, I'm a small content creator, but I also have the opportunity to learn from those that are far they're where I am right now. So that when they do make mistakes, I can learn from them so that I don't have to make those same mistakes. So regardless of what comes from this commentary or the commentaries I do on Amir, it's really the principle that I'm speaking about more. It's just Amir is the conduit for that. But a lot of times on BubzDaGawd, when I end up using people as conduits, 9 times out of 10, there is a response. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amir did reach out. And that would be dope. Like, again, I don't hate the nigga. because I don't know you to hate you. I don't know your character personally as a person because I have never spoken with you. But as far as this public persona, as far as Amir Odom, the conservative commentator and public speaker, and what we saw with you on these platforms, it's like, Miss Mamas, you're not even studying, Miss Mamas. You talk so much about ground news, but you never ever have your videos supported from things you found on ground news. You are using clips from what your supporters sent you when you're supposed to be the one that has the responsibility to working out the information. And even though, yes, I've had my supporters send me all type of stuff, I don't use it all the time. Sometimes I have it there just in case when I'm looking for something and I still want something to build my argument more, I then have a collection of things that I can then go to. But I study to show thyself approved first. That's why I can get up on this mug and talk the way that I talk for hours. And it all makes sense for those that can hear and comprehend. For those who are not afraid of the fear. Without a motherfucking script. I only do my scripted videos as far as edit it so that I can condense what I say in 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours into a 1 hour something video. And that even be a challenge because I've been trying to figure out how I can make it digestible for everybody. Even though it seems like the majority of America is still on milk and have not built up to solid fucking foods yet. Let me check the comments real quick. We got Aries in the building. What's going on, Aries? I'm going to mess your name up. Let me look at this real quick. I'm going to say Vicky. Vicky Callie. Vicky. You are the weakest link goodbye. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But shout out to you. Hi. Is this the channel for who was on with you? Yes. BubzDaGawd. Yes. I'm in the bushes learning from you. I go, oh, shout out to you, L Teddy. We're going to have to look. I'm trying my best to get into my collaboration bag. But I have so much shit that be going on off YouTube. I'm low-key a therapist in real life. I talk to people every day. There's not really a day where I just don't talk to nobody and just be to myself. I need a vacation, a mental vacation. No shade, emotional vacation, girl. And I have a feeling it's coming very soon, girl. Because I ain't about to let all this shit take me out. I still got to live my life, too. No shade. But I do want to collaborate more. Something gonna happen. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. Let me see. I think it's everybody. PragerU getting into some of our schools and so what? Well, I'm not surprised because we're gonna see a video of a woman taking down the pride poster. I mean, a pride flag. The same. This is the funny part, and then we're gonna get to the video, y'all. The same people in this administration who were saying that DEI is horrible, is fucked up. This queer shit in the schools, this trans shit in the schools, this drag queen reading time in the schools, this and that and whoop-de-whoop and blah and blah and blah and all other type of shit. These motherfuckers were projecting the whole time because now that they're in positions of power, they are literally the definitions manifested of what they believe DEI to be. And since they want to do it, let them do it and let them fuck everything up so that when the time comes to build shit, no, y'all build it. I mean, y'all build it. Y'all saying that we the DEI. Y'all saying that they getting Bon Qui and LaQuisha and motherfucking Mook off the street, bitch, and just automatically putting him into a pilot seat and say, nigga, fly this motherfucking plane like you do a motherfucking Nissan Altima. Like these individuals are that dumb and that stupid to end up with millions of dollars lost because of lawsuits, girl, just because of diversity and equity. There are people of color. There are people who are queer who are not dumb and stupid and are smarter than the fifth grader, who educate themselves that allows them to be in those positions. And now we're seeing the Nepo babies. Now we're seeing the privileged people sit in positions of power and can't fucking handle they shit at all and need professionals. And then fire the professionals because the professionals is trying to show them how to do it, but they don't want to do it in the way of the professionals. They want the professionals to do the work for them. No, Miss Mamas, you show us how to do this shit. And we know how they're going to do this shit. They're going to destroy shit. That's what I'm saying. Like Amir, bruh, I don't know. I just hope that Amir grows in his awareness. What's going on, Queen Spicy, if I haven't said that already? Anyway, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made. Okay. Girl, I fucked it up. Because I was trying to be smooth with it, girl. Until I said, okay. Okay, again. Rick. We're going to do it again. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use, okay? For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective yet ignorant ass owners, girl. And BubzDaGawd does not claim any right over them. Okay, so with that being said, I've seen some of Amir's content and it can be toxic. This is where the accountability comes into play. But again, as y'all can see, I'm about to go down real quick so y'all can see. Boom, it reads. Don't worry. I'm sure the fire will put itself out before it reaches the parts that represent you. And the person that is in the purple on the left, they have on their chest LGB/ or minus TQI. And we know who the motherfuckers in blue is, correct? Okay. So now that we know, let's get into the video. Well, we can do it like this, girl. Let me change the music first. I was going to put on some creepy shit. That's low-key what I want to do, girl. Because, like, the way that he was talking with some of this stuff, especially from the last live, and then some of the shit he said in this live, it's like, oh, girl, okay. I can see that you kind of get a little snippy. You getting a little snippy, and that's okay, girl. Because I understand it comes with being a content creator, Miss Mama. But you have the opportunity to learn from this so that you can show up better because you thought that you ate with these weak-ass clips that some of your weak-ass supporters sent to you as if though it was just going to eat the girls up. Matter of fact, do I got some damn creepy-ass music, girl? I need something. Give me 1 second. Okay, we ain't got nothing. Girl. Oh, we can use this. I do like this one. This is kind of like, girl, when I'm getting a little serious, bitch. Or whatever. Make sure I hit that like button. It helps the channel to grow on the algorithms, okay? And again, I play music with my content because it helps your subconscious mind to remember what is being said to you. Okay? That's why I do it. And I'm a creator, so hey. Anyway, let's get into Amir's video.
On puberty blockers for...
Oh, shit, what I do?
4 years.
Sorry.
And in like a couple days, I was going to finally have the talk with the guy that would let me have HRT. Finally getting the care that I need would help me immensely. But the health minister has decided to ban gender-affirming care to under 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Which means there is a big chance that I will not be allowed to get HRT after like 5 years away.
You've been put on puberty blockers since you was 11. You're not even developed yet. Hence the blockers. You're blocking your development. You're not even developed in your head, and you're trying to make lifelong decisions. It's so weird to me because you want to, like, there's people advocating. These kids, they know their body. They know how they're gonna change it for life. They should have the right to change their sex. Okay, so we're all in agreement that a child can't consent to have sex with an adult because they're not right in their heads. They're too immature. They can't make that decision because they're a minor. If we're in agreement of what a minor is, that needs to be the standard of what it is. They're a minor. So why, in what world, in what sense do you think it's okay to take a minor and say, yep, give them all the people on a route to get their tibbies and bitties cut off for life? Life-altering decisions, okay? Puberty blocker since 11, that's gonna do some damage. It's a child. Let them grow up. Let them just blossom.
be who they want to be, but not medically, but like just let them exist. I don't understand why we can't just do that. It is wrong what's happening to these kids. I feel bad for that child that she's been on this roadmap to be trans since the age 11. Girl, at age 11, you can't even drive. Can't.
So before he continues with his examples, because again, I have to pause it to transform it in nature. Amir, let's go down the realm of medical transitioning. Okay. If a child does any sort of gender affirming care that is medical, not surgical, but medical, you have expressed, and a lot of your supporters have expressed, that they wish that parents had the choice to choose, the parents to be considered, for parents to have a say. And people said, cool. That's completely understandable, especially since you're the one responsible for that child until they become of age, correct? So again, people have agreed with you in reference to that. But now it's a problem when there are some parents who, instead of being fear-based like a lot of your supporters, actually go down the journey, down the road, down the quote-unquote rabbit hole with their child, with fear and trembling, but the love for their child to be the most important thing above all things, the betterment of your child above all things, to explore it with them, to even see if this is the case. I don't know if y'all believe that the person who was doing the child deletions in For Colored Girls, Macy Gray, has now also do SRS and black market motherfucking puberty blockers and drugs for children. I don't know if y'all believe she's real. I don't know if y'all believe that these doctors are inspired by Art the Clown and want to just harm children. We have stated with evidence, scientific as well. Because you're going to use the example of, and later on in the commentary, when it talks about police and treating police a certain type of way, well, if you get robbed, if you get into a car accident, who you going to call? 911. Okay, nigga, when your ass is sick and you can't get well, you go to what? The doctor. And if you can't get well at the doctor, then you go to what? The hospital if it's an emergency, right? So again, when you have people who are scientists, who are doctors, who are therapists, who do this in real life, not to be a voice piece for ignorant ass bigots, but actually are trying to uphold the Hippocratic Oath, which means to help and not harm, they have to go through therapy first. They have to have conversations. There are certain markers that are put in place to help these professionals to decide whether this person is experiencing gender dysphoria or not. And then, because a bunch of ignorant ass fear-based motherfuckers was so easy to write it off as a mental illness, which means to throw them away and lock up, to throw them away, to lock them up and throw away the key. Was that a dyslexic moment? I don't know. But instead are trying to understand these people and to help their lives become better. And no shade, with any sort of motherfucking medication, there's gonna always be what is known as the motherfucking side effects, as some more said. Whether it is prescription or over the counter, there is always a side effect. There are so many medications that Americans are on right now that have the nigga reading and talking fast as hell. I couldn't do it because I would stumble, girl. Imagine me saying the side effects clearly. It'll be a miracle. Because my tongue gonna do some other shit. I'm just saying. But that is a side effect. So again, if their parents are okay with it, then allow them to do what they're going to do with their children, just like how your supporters are going to do what they're going to do with their children. Point blank, period. Let's continue further. Is my mic too loud? Because I don't want to be blasting y'all eardrums out. If I am, please tell me. Because I'm not trying to blast y'all damn eardrums out. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Because sometimes I'm being told that I can't be heard or that I'm soft. So is the volume good? It's good. Okay, thank you. Vicky says, I just read that there have been only 2 cases of gender reassignment surgeries for under 12 in the U.S. So they are just lying on that part. The mic is good. Okay, great. Because I don't want to be blasting y'all shit out. Thank you so much for the people who are talking and let me know. All right, let's continue, girl.
Smoke, can't drink, can't vote, can't do nothing. But you want to change your sex for life? You know that for sure because you don't like puberty, which I don't know who does like puberty. It sucked. What are we doing? It's like people are saying, oh, not promoting this, not standing for this, not protecting trans youth is doing harm to them. But like on the other side, we're looking at it like this is actual harm. Putting them on all the medications, doing all the surgeries, that's harmful.
15-year-old and...
So it's funny. Y'all care about the harm of trans people who are medically and surgically transitioning. You care about their well-being. But when they are socially transitioned, y'all don't give a fuck about them then. You call them mentally ill and crazy and evil and weird. And that's why y'all are not liked. And that's why people hate the gay community overall, because of y'all. So when they are socially transitioning, which is what Amir's argument is, but definitely not the argument of those who support him at large. But when they socially transition, and we're going to hear about it in one of the other videos that Amir is going to show, of how there's a person that is non-binary that wanted to get a double mastectomy. Because even though you have titties, yitties, not everybody wants to have big old yitties. My sister was an individual who was flat-chested and prayed to God to give her yitties, girl, and God gave her the yitties and then some, to where it's like, girl, her back is hurting to this day. And I'm pretty sure there are girls who are well endowed as far as their chest is concerned, who would probably want to have those type of options open to them to relieve stress and pain on their motherfucking bodies. Like, there's so much context and nuance here, but when your supporters are ignorant, girl, I'm about to say another word, ignorant bigots, they only gonna want the simplistic thing because they feel like they can use that against queer people. And Amir is sitting here talking like, girl, here's the way you can use these videos against these people. I want y'all to come at me at BubzDaGawd. Stop finding the people who can't explain themselves. Stop finding the people who are still trying to figure things out and you feel like you can manipulate their motherfucking shit. Come talk to an individual who's actually talking to queer people and the spectrum they're in. Because all y'all doing is taking clips, and I'm going to play y'all game. I'm going to show y'all clips since we're clip-minded individuals in this bitch. But you're using these clips to make a broad generalization. And then when you talk about some possible context and nuance, it's just very half-assed, just brushed off, just, oh, well, I mean, all right. Count me in, but insurance won't pay. That's why I was saying other options could be care credit. There have been trans women who have been able to get all type of cosmetic work done. Now, you may have to pay more because you're financing it, but there are ways that you can have that happen for you. And it's sad because I really just wish that trans people could just exist without having to assimilate. Maybe the reason why a lot of trans people are wanting to get these surgeries because they're trying to assimilate to what society has constructed, that try to assimilate in a way to fit in with the binary, the social construct, right, of what is man and woman. And we talk about mental health, like y'all be using people's mental health against them. Y'all don't be trying to help them work through their mental illness. You just use it as a fucking talking point. even though their mental health is bad, because it doesn't matter how much I love myself. It doesn't matter how much I affirm myself. It doesn't matter how much I care about myself. It doesn't matter all that. It does not make me exempt from a hate crime. It's a bunch of motherfuckers who lost their damn life and thought it would have not been them today. But unfortunately, it was them today. And when you are a part of an administration that is actively trying to erase the trans experience, not just for children, but also for adults. Because if the adults can't do it, you really think the children gonna do it? That's why I can't be quiet. That's why I kind of have to press the gas a little bit when it comes to Amir, because it's like, my nigga, you not doing your research in a 360 type of way, in an objective type of way, when it comes down to the queer experience. Because if you did, that part of you that does have a heart, the personal part of you, the private side of you that really does have a heart, because you say you cry all the time, girl, and as a fellow emotional person who is a Cancer as far as my birthday and shit, my zodiac sign, I understand that emotional aspect. I would be crying every day too if I was out here actively harming my community for money, allegedly. I would be crying too if I can't go to the motherfucking gay bars without looking over my shoulder. Well, now you understand what the trans women of color understand. Now you and my thing is, nigga, you should understand that, right? Because didn't you have your moments of homophobia that almost pushed your ass over the edge? Just like how I had that experience that almost pushed me over the edge too. See, there could be a lot of healing that could happen here, that could be modeled for so many queer people and even straight people to reconcile the ish, but they'll never reconcile it as long as they have Amir Odom, their most prized shield. And the shield is starting to feel some type of way because we can see that those ain't chinks in the armor, Booski. Those are cracks.
Miss Zerlot, formerly Evelyn, came out as non-binary about 4 years ago to their mother, Anne.
And so we had these little signs. We have a tomboy.
Leave it at that. You got a tomboy. How you 11, 10, 11 coming out as non-binary? I can't. This is also why, like I said, I see why people are racist. This is why people are homophobic. This is why
Let's play it back. You said what?
Leave it at that. You got a tomboy. How you 11, 10, 11 coming out as non-binary?
I don't know why you're scrunching your face up. You said when it comes down to trans people, even though non-binary and trans, there is a distinction there, in a sense, that I'm still ignorant on and that I need to learn more about. So again, if I make some mistakes, charge it to my head, not my heart. No shade. I'm still learning like everybody else. But you're the one that was stating that, hey, when it comes down to trans people, especially trans kids, let them socially transition. Let them socially transition. Let them socially transition. Then you say, well, what kid is going to come out as non-binary? That's why I hope that Amir watches my fucking video essay, because all the shit he's saying, I literally clear up with examples. But I guess because it's not in a 30-second soundbite, because unfortunately a lot of Americans have the attention span of a river shrimp, it's difficult for them to learn. And then you wonder why the powers that be can continue to shit on us the way that they do. Because they lied and told all these motherfuckers it's ice cream.
I can't. This is also why, like I said, I see why people are racist. This is why people are homophobic. This is why people want nothing to do with the LGBTQ community, want nothing to do with the TQ plus, non-binary pronouns and all that, because it's just nonsense. It's ridiculous at this point.
Won't wear a skirt. First communion was a big deal because the dress was required, but we compromised with the skirt. We have a good relationship, and I think that they trusted that in this house it would be fine.
It's out in the world that's currently unclear. Enfys doesn't identify as male or female, and that meant searching for doctors and programs to help them.
Because within the trans community, mental health is a huge issue.
No shit.
Not because we're trans, but because of how the world views us and how we view ourselves.
Not because we're trans, but because of how the world views us and how we view ourselves. So because trans, right?
Let's rewind it again.
The world views us and how we view ourselves.
Or female. And
We're going to rewind it a few times just so we can hear what was explained. Not by Amir, but
within the trans community,
they.
mental health is a huge issue.
No shit.
Not because we're trans, but because of how the world views us and how we view ourselves.
No shit.
Not because we're trans, but because of how the world views us.
No shit.
Not because we're trans, but because
One more time.
of how the world views us and how we view ourselves.
No shit.
Not because we're trans, but because of how the world views us and how we view ourselves.
Not because.
Amir, let me break it down to you. Because again, maybe it's because I grew up being quote unquote the weird person because I was gay. And I came across other weird people who were just genuinely being themselves. Which means that, girl, they're going to change, they're going to grow, they're going to evolve. They're not going to fit into a fucking box. They're going to find out who they are. They're not fitting into the status quo. It behoves barely trying to stay in the status quo. There are people who be doing shit that are not status quo like in the dark with individuals who are weird. Because the weird people are the ones who are really walking in their truth. This is what they meant. The reason why there is a huge mental health issue or crisis with trans people, the mental health issue is not because they're trans within itself. It's not the awareness of, oh, I'm trans. Oh, that may, or watching something that resonates with them and makes sense for them. The mental health part, and this is what pisses me off when it comes down to Amir Odom, because my nigga, you know what unaliving yourself, the ideation feels like. You know what it feels like. Didn't you say that you was thinking about throwing yourself into the river? The reason why the mental health is high within the trans community is, again, not because they're trans within themselves, but what that reality means outside of them. That even if they were to do the one thing that y'all want trans people to do, which is to be honest, all that comes with that. And Amir, I don't know if you've been bullied as a child, but I was. I didn't even know what gay was until years down the line. But my peers knew exactly what that meant. And they showed me the reality of what happens to individuals who are like that. I mean, didn't you state in your debate with Mason that when you were younger, because you were effeminate, that people were saying, why you talk like a girl, why you walk like a girl, why you move your hand like a girl? Are you a girl? And you thought you were a girl for a moment because of how society conditioned you to believe it to be? You came to the realization that you are a cisgendered man. That's your reality. It's the reality for me as well. But our realities is not the only fucking reality. There are other people out there who are going to live realities different than ours. But because people are going to be assholes and are going to pick on the quote unquote weird people, and now they're a part of an administration that is attacking the adults. Because y'all keep saying, oh, wait until your ass turn 18. Because when you turn 18, then you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Until they start doing whatever the hell they want to do. And now it's a problem. And now it's an issue. But y'all said when we turn 18, we can do what the fuck we want to do. And then I was told, which no shade, that is the truth. We just going to have to say fuck it and live our lives. But we also have to understand what that looks like. And it's a shame that we live in a country that has this American dream of being fucking united, but really are piss poor at it. That want to silence racism because racists are not ready to be accountable for the shit that they have caused. That queerphobic people are not ready to be accountable for all the motherfucking crimson fluid that is on their fucking hands. And now that they're in positions of power, they believe that they have found a fucking loophole to prevent them from being accountable. This is the age of Aquarius, and they don't give a fuck about what religion you believe, don't give a fuck about how much money you have, what your title is, who you are, how many subscribers you have. As long as you have blue fluid running through your veins that turns red once it hits oxygen. As long as your ass is a hue to the man, you are not fucking exempt. There are going to be people that are going to be considered weird every fucking where. The question is, are the weird people objectively harming you? That is the question that the other side, the queer side, is asking you. And if that is the case, you now have the burden of proof to show us how it's happening objectively. But baby, we have so much evidence on what the fuck y'all have done to us. And I feel like Amir has joined the club of, well, if you can't beat him, join him. I want y'all to continue to listen to how Amir gives his little side commentary, because you can obviously hear the fear in his voice, because now he feels like, or he knows, shall I say, tries to does poker face and fails in regards to how he feels like the TQI is destroying the foundation of the LGB. That the LGB was doing good. All we wanted was gay marriage. All we wanted, first of all, when did y'all motherfuckers become the arbiters of what the fuck the queer community wants? And then on top of that, have the nerve to talk all this shit about trans people when it was trans people, again, historically speaking, who also were marginalized, but also realized that there was a common struggle, came together and actually wasn't fucking scared, because trans people don't have a luxury and a privilege that Amir and I have. We have the privilege to be able to go into the world and blend the fuck in. I would love to see Amir in a barbershop, nigga. Are you the same Amir in a barbershop? Or are you, oh, what's up, bro? What's going on, man? Yeah, it's coming to get my haircut, bro. Yeah. Show us what it's like for Amir Odom, girl. Give us a 24 hours in the life of Amir Odom, girl, to show the homosexuals how they should live. Don't worry about what's happening with Trump. Don't worry about what's happening with this administration. Don't worry about what's happening with the bathroom bans and the locker room bans and the ID being revised. Now, don't worry about that. Let me just show you that no matter what's happening, you just have to live your life and love yourself, and you can make it. Just like they tell everybody in America. As long as you work hard, you'll be able to make the life you want. Meanwhile, people working to fucking death and ain't getting shit. Oh, we're going to get into it in this live. We're going to take our time in this live, because I'm going to show you what real community work looks like. I'm going to show you what overtime, when it comes down to community work, looks like. Because I does this in real life. And I want to become even better at doing it in real life, because I'm not even operating at my true potential. So no shade. All this shit is nothing but training and sparring for me. Because if y'all been rocking with BubzDaGawd, none of these niggas, as far as them thinking and proving and providing evidence, have been able to one-up me. I am a leprechaun for a reason, bitch. The universe put dope-ass people in my life for a reason, bitch. It's just that now I'm becoming aware of my greatness. And as an individual who has been bullied, I don't like bullies. And I don't like people who spread misinformation about the queer community. Because if that was the case, he would have dominated Mason in that debate. Meanwhile, he was sitting there stuck on, I don't know, girl. Yeah, it's difficult to have that conversation when you're not inside your house editing the videos and constructing it in a way to where it seems like you're the one that is the sane one, girl. When you start having conversations with people that are outside, girl, outside, now all of a sudden, girl, your ass don't know what to do. This is performative. And one thing that those people like about those niggers and niggerettes and nigglets, girl, is that they sure know how to shuck and jive and perform. Let's continue with him believing that he ate with this video.
We're trans because of how the world views us and how we view ourselves. So because trans, right? If you want to say you're neither a boy or a girl, why can't you just exist as you are? At what point do you feel this locked in to gender norms to where you feel like you have to legitimately follow them? If you're not male or female, then like just exist. It's your personality. You're a little ambiguous and that's it. Because at the end of the day, you're still a male or a female. You're a female that's just like a tomboy. You're more masculine. It doesn't have to be this deep. It doesn't have to have all these labels and in-groups and clubs and flags. You don't need all that for this.
But that's your limited perspective. And if you want to see them in that way, by all means, that's fine. That's cool. That's great. I mean, scientifically speaking, like y'all say, the bone, the teeth, all that stuff, as far as the binary, that's how they're going to do that. They're going to look at that person. But as far as how they show up in the fucking world, that is their subjective choice. And yes, some people are going to make the choice to completely assimilate. Just like there are other Americans that make the choice to completely assimilate in certain ways. Hell, ain't that the reason why your arms is big? As far as muscular and shit? Isn't that why your ass go to the gym and take care of yourself? Because that's also an aesthetic as well? Isn't that some sort of maintenance as well? And no shade, you're making metabolic, all type of changes within your body to fit a certain aesthetic. And there are some people who bypass that shit and just get the shit worked on and sucked out or just stitched up. And that's their prerogative. That's their life. And again, whenever you do anything, there's going to always be consequences. So if you're going to do this, just be accountable for what comes after it. And again, the trans community and the non-binary community is already a minority within a minority within a minority. Y'all have all these trans friends, but y'all trans, are they part of the hoodie gang too? Are they the ones that's wearing goddamn motherfucking hoods over their head and sunglasses? At this motherfucking point, you might as well fully assimilate and acquiesce, Amir, and the people that are trans that believe what you believe but have to be a part of the hoodie gang. Just go ahead and grab you a Skittles and an Arizona tea and see if George Zimmerman pop up. Because there's going to be more than 3 of y'all, allegedly. And let's see what happens in that regard, right? The trans community is already small. The non-binary community is already small. Y'all acting like trans people outnumber heterosexual people or cisgendered people. But again, there has to be scapegoats. There has to be scapegoats, right? There has to be a group that has to be the sacrificial lamb. And we know what groups those are. Which is why I believe, allegedly speaking, that Amir, through his public persona, girl, is trying his best to let these people know, hey, that ain't us, that's them. That ain't us, that's them. Even though they see all of us as that. Which is why you got to keep making these LGBT videos to try to distance yourself from that. But no shade, you're a homosexual. And if they're purging the trans people, you don't think they're coming after the gay people? Because according to them, that's another level in the gayness. I mean, hell, again, you said on the debate with Mason that when you were younger, you thought if you were a girl, and should I have transitioned? So again, it's like a certain level. Even with feminine gay men. Well, if I wanted to be with a feminine gay man, I'll just be with a girl. Do you see how it's just all this toxic? But If y'all want to be in y'all toxicity, go ahead. Y'all can have all the, matter of fact, take it, girl. Drink it like the purple Kool-Aid, bitch. Drink all of it. Y'all can have the toxicity. Don't stop other people from living their authentic lives. Girl.
Gender affirming care can at least change how we view ourselves.
If you are not a boy or a girl, then what the hell is gender affirming care going to do to you? What gender is it going to affirm if you just said you are neither?
That's between them and their doctor to figure that out. Because again, they may be operating, and again, I'm ignorant on non-binary. So again, if there's somebody that's non-binary watching this, I'm open to, you know, I stand to be openly corrected. I'm a student. I don't know everything, but I'm going to take a shot at it. Maybe there's a certain level of awareness that they don't know, that again, their therapists and the people that are working with them can help them come to a gray area. Again, we talk about the gray area, girl, common ground, not just the middle ground, but the common ground here. To help them, the ones experiencing it, the one that is living it, to help them to figure it out. Let them do that. You speaking as if though that's your damn child. But regardless of whether they wanted to get this shit done, let's see what the fuck happens, girl, because all the things he's talking about, oh, well, they're going to get their titties cut off and they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and all the surgical stuff. Let's see what happens. Is there surgical shit going to still happen in Trump's America, girl? Let's see.
Did at Rady Children's Hospital 10 months ago. Through therapy, endocrinology appointments, and surgery consultations, ENFIS was eventually scheduled to have a mastectomy.
But it's not happening. It's not happening. 14, 15-year-olds aren't getting their breasts removed. They aren't getting mastectomies. It's not happening.
Girl, you're over here talking like every trans person just getting their titties chopped off after lunch behind the bleachers and shit. No, did you not hear all the shit that person had to go through for 10 months? Now, if you want to talk about maybe we should wait a little bit longer and see, I'm kind of up for that too. But that also means that now you have to allow trans research to be funded and to be explored so that, again, trans people can figure out, or non-binary people can figure out, again, they're not the same thing, at least to my knowledge, but girl, they have funding and resources to help them figure it out. But still, 10 months of therapy. I forgot the name of the sessions because I know my tongue will fuck it up. And a few other things before they were scheduled to have a double mastectomy. But let's see what happens.
It's happening.
Okay, now I want you to continue to find clips where it's happening more and more and more to where it is overwhelming. I'm talking about objectively overwhelming. I want you to hit me like, Bubs, no shade, man. Look at what all of these accredited, peer-reviewed, girl, always growing, evolving ass articles. Here's the articles. Here's the journals. Here's the statistics. Here's all this stuff. You need to be showing how all of this is happening. But y'all can't. Because no shade, if you had mountainous evidence, if you had just overwhelming amounts of evidence, we would have been heard about now, baby. I'm pretty sure you would have been able to just love to just suck it and sock it, not suck it, Lord. Sock it, excuse me, and bop it and twist it and turn it and shit when it comes to the queer community, because you would love to be able to crack the queer community's face. Be like, bitch, shut up, girl. What about this? 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 We should be feeling like Cleo from Set It Off. Okay? We should be feeling like Glock. We getting hit with Glocks from the front and shotguns from the back and the SMG from the damn right and a damn sniper rifle from the left and then a damn grenade being thrown and then a damn nuke bomb. We should be decimated, overwhelmed with the evidence. But neither you nor your supporters ever do that. They just talk shit in the comments. So again, once you start providing overwhelming facts, and the only person to me that has provided any sort of facts as far as trans youth getting surgeries done was Boss Man in one of his LGBTQ conundrum series. I don't know if it's episode 2 or 3. It's one of those where he, again, educated black man, brought up evidence of that. And the reason why he brought it up is because Medicare pays for it. That the American people are paying for these surgeries. And that was his only concern, bitch. If you want to transition, do it on your own dime. That was his only complaint. But he was the only person that was able to bring objective proof. And I've been in these spaces, and I've been going around these spaces trying to figure it out. Ask him, girl, and somebody else did their homework and came and taught class, and I learned some shit. For somebody who ain't even gay. About trans. Anyway, let's continue.
It's happening. Literally getting scheduled, literally getting consultations for confused, mentally ill 15-year-olds to get mastectomies. I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm not trying to be mean and bigoted. It is what it is. They just said it themselves.
It was the happiest I'd ever been. Yeah. Since I started puberty, and I started developing breasts, it was never something I wanted.
But just last week, that all changed when Ann got a call from Rady Children's.
This is not right. Not right at all.
The appointment was canceled, Ann says, because of the Trump administration's proposal to halt federal funding for hospitals providing gender-affirming care for minors.
This is what blows my mind about a lot of the things that I talk about, because I don't feel like it takes rocket science to understand. I don't feel like it takes an exuberant amount of studies to prove and show for a sentence as simple as a minor should not get a permanent life-altering surgery. That's it. Why is that such a controversial take? If you're a straight couple, not even straight couple, it doesn't matter. If your kid right now, your 15-year-old daughter said, I want a boob job, I want bigger breast, you would say no. Same thing. I don't like this. I want to just get them removed. No. If you want to do that, wait till you're an adult, because even then, now we're seeing cases where trans adults are starting to have issues getting surgeries because it's all nonsense. None of this was ever a thing before after 2020 and up. Trans community done took the gay community to hell. They did. Now you got this rise and all these new bills and laws and this and that because of things like this. Trans community, the TQ plus, the queers, the non-binaries group, they need PR. They need public relations management. They need something, because what's happening now and this route that we're going down is not working. And I'm glad there's people watching this channel. I'm glad more people are speaking up against this. And it doesn't even help that they have a parent promoting this and pushing this too. Well, I want my daughter, to stay alive, so I'm gonna do whatever they need. At that point, you're not a parent. You're just a roommate. You didn't parent shit. You failed at parenting, quite frankly.
Wow. I'm really trying to find the right words, because no shade. When he said that part at the end about, oh, I don't want my child to unalive, to take their own life, so I'm going to explore this with my child, realizing that I'm going to be scared, realizing that I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know if this is my child's truth. I don't know if this is some sort of indoctrination. I don't know, but I'm willing to go down the fucking road with them. And again, y'all be claiming that it's up to the parents. The parents should have rights. The parents should have rights. The parents should have rights. Okay, then parents need to have rights across the fucking board. But then for someone to literally want to keep their children alive and go through with it, and then make the claim that those are not real parents, that those are shitty ass parents. Let me ask you a question, Amir. The parents of children who are trans, who are queer under the umbrella, but in this context, trans or non-binary, end up taking their own lives. Does that mean that they were shit parents too? I would like an honest answer from that. Do you believe that those people ain't shit ass parents either? Piss po ass parents? And no shade. If you want to manifest your reality, again, where trans youth can just socially transition and then get older and then medically transition, then I'm going to need for you to start making videos talking to your motherfucking supporters about how they can help to make that happen. Because I don't see that. You tell them to socially transition, and then when they don't assimilate as far as what the secondary sex characteristics are called for in reference to this construct, and they decide that they want to go in the bathroom because they have to pee, now all of a sudden they're having problems because they don't quote unquote look like a woman. And then when trans people do get surgeries, then you're terming it as mutilations. Okay, well, again, if we're going to speak about how we view things, then allow us to do it, because at the end of the motherfucking day, at least what BubzDaGawd say, girl, we gonna find equality in this bitch one way or another. Y'all do not own all of reality. And I'm going to keep saying that. The only reality that you control is your own. So if the people that know that they're controlling their own reality want to do whatever the fuck they want to do with their reality, and it makes them happy, and it don't matter what anybody else says, fuck them. But for you to get up here and say that the people who live in their truth and not being incognito like you, that they're fucking up everything for the queer community at large. But yet you get up here and do your commentary as if though you're not doing the same fucking thing to the queer community. How dare you sit up here and act like you are on the right side of justice, talking about all these people are creating more racism and more queerphobia, and then you give the racists and the queerphobes a fucking platform and a space for them to project that shit. And again, that may be the reason why you cry every day. And no shade. This is no shade. This just came into my mind, girl. This is my intrusive thoughts. But no shade. You have a video on your platform where you were talking to your granddad. I need to watch that video. Because that might be, allegedly speaking, the only video where Amir gets to really deal in honor with humanity, because I wonder what his black grandfather had to go through when it came down to racism in this country. That's why people call you a sellout, bro. Because you believe that as long as you can distance yourself from those people, that nothing will happen to you. And the gag is that something always happens. But when it does happen, nobody will be there to stand in the gap for you. And trust, this administration is definitely going to create an objective opportunity for you to make a real choice. It just hasn't happened yet. And I hope when that time comes, you do make the right choice. Because if you don't, it is recorded in 720, 1080, 2.4, and 8K. Seen by millions of people, clipped and used and shared in all type of Facebook groups. there's plenty of people who are regretting MAGA now. Fuck the trans regret. Trans regret can never outnumber the MAGA regret right now. So I just wonder, Amir, what your possible, allegedly, MAGA regret is going to look like. Because with BubzDaGawd, again, I understand humanity. And my commentary is not about you personally. I'm talking about, again, the public persona of Amir. But I can see little fragments of you personally, girl, especially emotionally. That's why it's like, if we were to ever have a conversation, it ain't going to start off disrespectful. And on top of that, I make motherfuckers laugh. That's how you break the ice. But I'm also going to be stern, just like I'm pretty sure you're going to be stern. I mean, I've done this with Ron Vugata, who also, like you, would get millions of views. Very popular individual. Who also did a conservative grift. And we had plenty of conversations. And we're actually cool with each other. Even though the public discourse kind of went left, even though I was trying to keep it center. And even though he on the right, he wanted to go left. So I said, well, fuck it, bitch, let's go to the left. But we were able to move through that. And again, like, I'm about community. That's what I'm really about. I'm realizing that, like, the only way that we're going to be able to make things change is if we work together in the community. You're going to see more clips in this video from Amir where people are coming together in community. And I'm going to want y'all to watch him motherfucking say what he say about community. The motherfuckers out there actually doing the work, not just on YouTube talking about a girl, but also trying to find ways to be about it. And no shade, there are certain areas and aspects in my life where I need to be more about it. But that's one thing I'm going to be, because that's how I get to where I want to go. But I want y'all to take a listen to this video. I'm going to go up and re-up on my shit because they had a deal today, girl. On the pre-rolls, girl. So I got some. So, girl, I don't mind blowing his eye for community work. I just can't wait until I'm compensated for my shit, girl. If y'all want to bless the Leprechaun girl for giving y'all content, baby, and speaking truth to power, you can definitely hit that Cash App, Conscious TV, CONSCIOUZ TV. Okay, it's in the ticker down below. Put in the message, this is for BubzDaGawd, because if you don't, that light-skinned witch will spend my shit up on something. And I need all of me Lucky Charms, girl. Girl, the way that the world is coming, girl, I'm going to need all the gold that I can get in my pot so I can do some superpower, fragilistic, expialidocious ass shit. Girl, when it comes down to creation, okay? Anyway, y'all take a listen. I'm going to go grab my shit real quick.
Here's the truth about transgender kids that they don't want you to know. I think that's how a video like this is supposed to start, right? The truth that the government doesn't want you to know. The mainstream media doesn't want you to know. I am not really a they don't want you to know type guy. But here it is. There is an exhaustive report on gender-affirming care for trans kids, and they don't want you to know. Here's the backstory. In 2023, the Utah state legislature, controlled by Republicans, passed a law that banned care for transgender kids. Or actually, as a compromise, it was a moratorium. The plan was this. The legislature asked the University of Utah to do a comprehensive review of gender-affirming care for minors. What it was, whether it was safe, whether it worked. Then, the university would report back. The legislature could decide whether to make the ban permanent. It was conducted by a group called the Drug Regimen Review Center at the U of U's College of Pharmacy. Usually they report on whether certain treatments are effective for Medicaid. In other words, they're folks who do this stuff all day. They're not political appointees, not politicians, just regular scientists doing their job. And again, this is a job given to them by the Republican legislature. Last year, after about 2.5 years of study, the University of Utah handed in that report. It is 1,000 pages long. The whole thing's online. I'm just going to read from what they found. The consensus of the evidence supports that the treatments are effective in terms of mental health psychosocial outcomes and the induction of body changes consistent with the affirmed gender in pediatric patients. The evidence also supports that the treatments are safe. It is our expert opinion that policies to prevent access to and use of gender-affirming care for treatment of gender dysphoria in pediatric patients cannot be justified based on the quantity or quality of medical science findings or concerns about potential regret in the future. In other words, gender-affirming care for kids works. That's what the actual evidence says. But of course, the report barely made the news outside of Utah. And also, of course, the Utah legislature is banning care anyway. Gender-affirming care is good medicine. That's what they don't want you to know.
Yes. Now, again, excuse me. This individual, which again, I would advise that y'all all go ahead and study to show yourselves approved. Don't just take my word for it. Oh, BubzDaGawd said so, it must be real. No, girl, go do your own research. Okay? Again, there are people who are trying to understand this quote-unquote phenomenon that is happening, even though it's been here since the beginning of fucking time. But hello, whatever. Who are doing these experiments, conducting these studies to see what it gives. And we just heard individuals talking about their mental health, the quality of life. Your mental health can suffer based on what happens outside of you that starts to affect you internally, i.e. depression, i.e. self-deletion ideations. These things are tangible and these things are real. And what pisses me off is that, again, Amir, my nigga, you know what that feels like. You know what that feels like. And again, the studies and stuff that Amir says, it doesn't take a study, it doesn't take this, it doesn't take that. Okay, let's use your analogy then. If you call a 911, which again, he's going to state it further in this video. Oh, if you call now, y'all hate the police and don't like the police, but when you get in trouble, you call 911, you call 911, you call 911. But in the context of mental health and the betterment of lives, and I'm losing my thought. Damn. Girl, I was going somewhere with that. What the hell was I saying? And for those of you that are new to BubzDaGawd, I lose my thoughts sometimes because my mind be going 100 miles an hour with information. So sometimes my mind be like, girl, slow it down a little bit, girl. No shit, you giving all this information, and a lot of these motherfuckers gonna disregard it, girl, until shit happen, girl. They gonna want to come back and listen to it, girl. Shout out to the replay gang. Gang in here. What was I saying? I know I was talking about the individuals who are doing the research, the individuals who are trying to understand what's going on, trying to tap into that element of humanity to help other groups of people that society is going to throw to the motherfucking side. Because regardless of whether these people transition or not, they're still going to be seen as the weird people. And I know trans people personally. I had an individual that I learned or had a basic foundational understanding of transness, which they would say woman of trans experience, by the name of Jahaira D'Alto, in the ballroom scene known as Jahaira Balenciaga, I think. But on YouTube, and to me, she was Jahira's mission. She was a woman of trans experience who was a mother to so many homeless, broken, mentally, quote unquote ill, unstable as people that were casted out of their homes and their communities, in their environments. And God, source, universe, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, loved them so much that it allowed for an alternative family to come about. We spoke about that earlier on CTV's platform, on how this nigga has cut off 90% of his blood family. But even though he cut off his blood family, the universe gave him the family that he deserves to have. And somebody took her fucking life. Someone took Jahira's life when she was just being a nice person, treating people the way that she wants to be treated. Again, look at Jay Inclusive's videos, has a whole playlist about unfortunate trans unalivings. There is somebody that I watch now, no shade, who was in a traumatic experience, seeing their friends being unalived in front of them. And it breaks my heart sometimes to hear this person speak, because there's so much pain behind a fucking voice. And yes, their mental health is not the best, even though they're trying to push forward. See, the shit that Amir is talking about and using against the trans community and the queer community as far as mental health. You guys are supposed to be so loving and stuff, but why are y'all so sad? Because of how the world treats us. How your life can be turned upside down for being queer. How your reality automatically shifts once motherfuckers find out the motherfucking tea. And a lot of people end up getting harmed in the process. And then, in some cases, the same people that harmed them are the same people that's trying to fuck after beating their asses, girl. I mean, didn't you state in your video about marriage equality, girl? It may happen, but let me read the Christians real quick, girl. How whenever there is a Republican National Convention, girl, somehow glory holes don't give glory to God no more. But it's not just a hole in the wall, but the booty hole too, and the mouth hole, and all the holes, bitch, and orifices. Anyway, let me shut the hell up. Again, shout out to people who actually do the evidence and not just have people send them shit, girl. Do you even vet what you watch, girl? Anyway, this is for the this is for the transphobic people, especially those who are against trans women, because we see a lot of that happening, unfortunately nowadays. These individuals went to a very transphobic rally and asked these people who care so much about women's sports, girl, and all that type of shit. Well, if you care about it so much like you do, then that means that you also educate yourself, right? I mean, a real motherfucking ally is going to do their research, correct? A real ally is going to be able to answer these difficult questions, right? Because a real ally is learning, correct? Well, let's take a listen real quick to these individuals, girl, who claim to be standing up for women's rights as far as biological women not playing and being in sports and being connected to trans women, but yet they struggle to name 5 professional athletes in women's sports.
Name 5 professional athletes in women's sports?
No.
So, and what are you here for?
I'm here to make sure my daughters don't have to play with men.
We're here at the Supreme Court today where they're deciding some important cases about trans athletes. The anti-trans side has a bunch of signs that say protect women's sports.
So we're going to ask them if they can name 5 professional women's athletes.
What are you here for today?
I'm here to support women and women's sports.
Can you name 5 professional women's athletes?
No.
Do you watch women's sports?
No, but I don't watch any sports.
Could you name 5 professional athletes in women's sports for me?
Professional athletes in women's sports? Let's see. Currently?
Can you briefly just tell me why you're here? You've got your Protect Women's Sports sign.
Yeah, to support to support common sense, biblical values.
Do you watch women's sports?
Not very much. The Williams sisters who play tennis.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Serena's retired, but okay. Can you name 5 professional athletes in women's sports?
It's not really about the professional athletes. Let's see. Other women's sports are.
Can you name 5 professional women's sports athletes?
Sure. Nancy Hogstead, Riley Gaines.
Riley's not a professional athlete.
Okay. Can you name 5 professional women's athletes?
I don't watch women's sports.
It's okay if not.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody right now.
That's very interesting. Because Amir in the last video talked about all these people being performative and virtual signaling and stuff like that, but yet these individuals don't even educate themselves about the people they're advocating for. And somebody said, well, it's not about professional athletes. Because their argument is probably about, we're talking about like, you know, school shit or whatever. We're not talking about pro athletes, but I mean, a lot of children watch these pro athletes and they aspire to be like them or reach the same heights as them as children. And they get better and better throughout their school career to where when they go to college, they can possibly get a scholarship and also get an opportunity to play in the big leagues. That's the goal, correct? And on top of that, I'm tired of y'all talking about, well, children don't know what they want to do and children don't know what they want to do. Okay, then, well, if that's the case, stop asking kids who the fuck they want to be when they grow up then. Don't ask them that shit no more. Shut the fuck up. What's going on, Faith, is the substance. What's going on? Don't ask kids anymore, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because, again, that defeats the purpose, right? They have to grow and figure it out. And y'all be pressuring the fuck out of kids. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be the president. I want to be this and I want to be that, girl. And them hoes working at McDonald's, bitch. So again, if we're going to play the game completely. And we know you're not going to play the game completely because heterosexuality is the only reality. And if that was the case, my gay leprechaun ass would not be here. So yeah, you might want to take that up with your creator and get in your prayer closet and try to figure that out for you. Anyway, let's continue. I think Vicky said that they're putting up, what did you say? Let me see. PragerU get into some of our schools in SoCal. Okay, so again, the religious aspect is entering schools again. And again, for some people, they believe that's good or whatever. They took prayer out of schools. Now we have knives and guns. Building nuclear weapons every day by the ton. Girl, but God's children is also in the house, in the school too. So a lot of pride flag to be there as well. But now they're bringing in more biblical aspects. So again, it's removing the inclusive aspect, you know, the people that's excluded from the biblical perspective, you know, the queer children that still have to go to school, the non-binary people, trans people that have to still go to school. Again, I was a gay child growing up. If you want to learn more about that, girl, to where I give a little bit of the tea in a more explicit manner, y'all can check out Faith is the Substance, okay? Because we sat down and had a conversation. So if you want to get the tea on that, you definitely can. Check out their channel and subscribe, okay? But I knew at a young age, I knew. And then I had some things happen that validated and affirmed that for me. But that wasn't like the not Genesis, but the pinnacle of it all. Like, no, that was the beginning of the motherfucking journey. So now that the oppressed groups of people who possibly had a safe space in school with that teacher who would respect them now is being ordered to shut the fuck up and to remove quote unquote gay paraphernalia, but want to then bring religious into it. And again, isn't that supposed to be a subjective belief? That's what we're told, right? So if queer people have to do things behind closed doors, then I think, to be fair, religious people should do the same thing. Again, if we're going to be fair, because if we're fair across the board, I'm not mad. I'd rather do that. That's the gray area. Let's find that common area. But we know that this administration and Amir don't want that. They want all that shit gone, not realizing that he is low-key erasing himself as well. Let's continue. I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Good. Public education just needs to be bare bones. Education needs to be revamped. Honestly, the whole thing needs to be scrapped. We need a new way of teaching these kids. We don't need to be stuck in this cycle of learning like this. It's not working out for anyone. That's besides the point. I feel like if you're a public school teacher and you're getting taxpayer money, you should have, I'm trying to be careful when I say this, but like you should have a set standard of how you're presenting yourself. No matter where you go in the United States, a cop has a uniform. Fireman has a uniform. Judges wear the same shit. I feel like so when it comes to teachers, there should be a bare minimum of like, I'm not saying a set uniform, but like a, hey, dark jean, you know, a nice polo. There should be a set standard of guideline. There should. Wearing whatever you want and not, no. Across the board, no flags except the American flag. We're all united under that and keep it pushing. But as a teacher, there's no reason why you should have the giant pride flag with the trans stuff everywhere, and you're so concerned about teachers, about students knowing that you're gay or